Are we okay if they put up the title slide so the screen's not playing?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I asked him to turn the lights down. Yeah, like 10 times.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll do it until he starts.
Okay.
So we just present from right here then?
Say it.
Are we just presenting from right here then?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
For us, to kind of get back and forth.
Yeah, it
Doesn't make sense. And we've got this mic.
Do we need to move it more central, or you think that's fine?
No, we can. All this.
Let me get this going before you do that. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm ready when you
Okay, good evening, everybody. How's everybody today? It's wonderful to see so many smiling faces and interested faces, and so we want to make sure that we keep the spirits up. We have a lot of information to report, so we're going to go get ready to convene our meeting. I'll ask first Clerk Key for a roll call.
Good evening, everyone. Okay. Trustee Norwood? Trustee Stan Brown is absent. Trustee Tammy Brown?
Present.
Trustee House?
Present.
Trustee Holmes is absent. Trustee Belcher? Here. We have a quorum. And I'm sorry, we did not start the meeting correctly. The meeting is 6:33 p.m.
Thank you very much. This meeting being properly called by three trustees, Trustee House, Trustee Belcher, and Trustee Tammy Brown. We want to make sure we mark on the record in the absence of the mayor, as the mayor is not present with us. I'm convening it as Mayor Pro Tem, and this meeting is properly called with 48 hours notice. First, we're going to ask everybody to do the pledge. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by prayer. I'll ask if we can remain standing, and I'll ask former trustee Valeria Stubbs if she could lead us in prayer, please.
And everybody hear me, can you bow your head, please? Heavenly Father, I come to you in the name of Jesus just to praise your name another day, and thank you for your mercy and grace that you have stored upon us. Thanking you for allowing us to assemble here, Father. And I thank you for watching over everybody that live in and outside of the village of Dolton, Father. Heavenly Father, I come to you asking that we have a peaceful meeting, and I thank everybody that's in attendance. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Amen. Okay, first order of business is general announcements. I'll ask the board if there are any general announcements to be made at this time.
Good evening, everyone. Just want to remind you this coming Saturday, tea with the trustees in this room, 14700 Evers, Lester Long Fieldhouse, will be tea with the trustees, 9:30 a.m. All the people we see here, we definitely want to see you guys Tuesday. We have awesome information every second. I'm sorry, this Saturday, we definitely have awesome information that we also share on those second Saturdays of every month. So please, please, please come out and join us. It's actually for you, the residents. Of course, you know, in the board meeting, you don't get a chance to, it's supposed to be citizens' address instead of citizens' comments. So this is the time for you to come out and tell us what you want to see done and hopefully we can get those things taken care of. So please come out this Saturday, not Tuesday, 9:30 a.m., right here in this very room. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Brown. Any additional comments from the board?
May I be recognized? Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to say thank you all for coming out. As everyone knows, this information tonight, everybody has been waiting on. So good to see a lot of Dolton residents out just because they want to know what's going on with their tax dollars. Please just give Mayor Lightfoot the respect. It's a wealth of information based on what was just given to us. And once we intake this information, please just work with us on our next steps of whatever we get. I just want just let everybody know that at this time, if anyone was at the meeting on Monday, you guys see that we are in a financial crisis. And I want you to trust your trustees that we are working for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Trustee Norwood?
Mayor Pro Tem, may I be recognized? Okay, I take it as yes. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I would just first like to say that I am so happy to see everyone. You all know what they say, a family that stays together, a family that prays together, stays together, okay? So I'd also like to just thank our residents, right? 2 Dolton residents. We know that these last 3 years have been a little difficult for us, right? We've had to make a lot of tough decisions regarding the town as a board. And I thank you all for trusting us, believing in us in the process, and knowing that we have a plan. We have a plan. I think that these last 3 years have made us stronger than ever before. I just want you all to know that I love you guys, and tonight is a good night.
One last thing, Mayor Pro Tem. We definitely want to thank Mayor Lightfoot for taking on, when I tell you, this devastating task. We thank her for taking on this task and helping not only the trustees, but also the residents. Thank you, Mayor Lightfoot.
A few other acknowledgements. I want to make sure that we would be, partnership has been critical for the Board of Trustees and the village as well. Dolton Park District has been a tremendous partner to us, so I want to make sure we give the space and having the meeting rooms when we've been locked out of our own Village Hall taxpayer dollars. So we want to give a round of applause to Commissioner Sandra Wells is there. I saw Commissioner Gail Towers. I know Commissioner Willis Harris is pretty close, as well as our president, Cleo Jones. Want to give them a round of applause. I don't know if I missed Commissioner Rochelle if he's present, but thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. This partnership means everything to the community and is part of the way that we move forward. So we have to give that acknowledgement. Further acknowledgement to the hard-fighting Dolton firefighters who come and who show up every day for us through we want to know the community loves you, and we appreciate everything that you're doing, and we are working hard to get you guys made whole and made correct. I will have a few other comments about the report, to preface the report, and some of the things we did make sure that it was an independent report. So the board was kind of given some kind of snippets ahead of time, but we wanted to also maintain the integrity of independence. So there are some things we'll be seeing for the first time, some things we've had kind of a heads up to, but it's given us some direction. So I'll preface some more comments. At Monday's board meeting, there were also some actions voted on by the Board of Trustees that have left confusion or ambiguity because the board has voted to begin some layoffs for budgetary reasons, and all of those have not been implemented at this time, or they're in various phases. So we are working with our attorneys, so I'll ask if Attorney McGrath can kind of also give an update to the community on what's going on there.
Thank you, trustee. A couple of updates since the meeting on Monday night, which a lot of items were brought out, specifically the village's finances and why we're here tonight to go into more detail. But the board has decided to implement a hiring freeze. It was not able to be put on this agenda in time, but they want to know that, let the residents know that there's going to be a hiring freeze, that the village is just not able to hire any more employees in any department. There was some layoffs, and there's most likely going to be more layoffs, unfortunately, in the future. Since Monday's meeting, there's also been a number of instances of harassment in the workplace, threats to employees and elected officials. I have advised all staff and employees to document those incidents, and we are going to forward them to the Cook County Sheriff's Police Department, who by ordinance is the Inspector General for the Village of Dolton, and they will have the stronger arm to take action in regards to workplace harassment, retaliation, political work happening in the workplace, those kind of things. The ordinance, you can get a copy of it. It was passed about 10 years ago, but the clerk can get a copy and post it, and I think it'd be a good idea to let everyone know what the sheriff is authorized to look into, and it's a lot of it. Once again, based on the board's directive, different individuals aren't following the board's directive. There was a deputy chief that was placed on administrative leave. He disregarded that and showed up the very next day. He then received a notice that he was terminated, and he despite being notified that he was terminated and in discussions with the Fraternal Order of Police, the FOP, he again showed up today. Once again, the mayor has changed the locks at the Village Hall. Everyone recall how orderly and how nice it was to walk into the village board meeting on Monday night when the Madam Clerk and the trustees had key fobs to get into the village. Once again, this is about the third time that she has changed the locks, so the elected officials do not have access and cannot get into the village hall, which belongs to the people. I got a call from an attorney this afternoon who unfortunately says I have a couple lawsuits that I have to file against the village. It's been pending in court, and I can't serve the village because I can't get to the clerk because the doors to the village hall are locked. So it's causing some real issues, and federal judges are aware of what's going on. But the locks have changed. Emails were shut off, and I had heard that Mr. Lacey and others have brought in their own IT person in an effort to gain access to their emails that were shut down. I don't know the status of that, but there's a lot of stuff that happens really, really quick. Things happen every day. You just cannot believe what's going on with this administration. But we're doing our best. These board members are doing their best. Ms. Lightfoot has a very good presentation for everyone, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions after, but I think we can move on from there.
Okay, thank you for that update, Attorney McGrath. Having said that, we're going to move to the next item on the agenda. We have a few, I would say, quicker points that we need to vote through, and then we'll go into the presentation, but I don't think that should take extremely long. I think we've all had the opportunity to vet these items, so I'll turn over to Village Clerk Allison Key.
Again, most of you guys know that my minutes are never put on the agenda for the regular board meeting, so I have to get them approved here. So I'll quickly go through the minutes, dates, and ask for the board's approval. So I'm asking for approval for minutes for May 6th, May 13th, June 3rd, and July 1st. I'm asking that the board would approve the 4-minute dates for minutes.
So moved.
Okay, Trustee Norwood. Trustee Tammy Brown?
Aye.
Trustee House?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher? Aye. Thank you very much.
Okay, next we have nothing under old business. For new business, we put on here, we are still in, this is still a work in progress. But it will be one of the things we are working towards to move the village forward as one of our solutions. We are going to be reassigning the board committees so that we can reinstitute the finance committee, police and fire, personnel committee, housing committees. So that will be forthcoming on an upcoming agenda. We're still kind of identifying, I think we have the chairs identified, but we want to make sure that we round it out with good talent. So that will be coming on an upcoming agenda. Item B, we put out an RFP for review for bids on a new towing company or new towing contract. Want to highlight that we did it in the RFP format, so that way we can make sure we get the best bang for our buck. We made sure that there are two current tow companies that received the notification, as well as the notification being placed in the public newspaper, the Chicago Tribune. And at this moment, is my understanding, we have received one bid in for that contract, so we will I will be asking for a motion to approve that bid. I don't know, did you have anything extra you wanted to add? Okay, the towing contract is with ENR Tow. So I'm going to ask, I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from ENR Tow Company to move forward with this contract, and I'll ask for a second, please. Okay, here a motion and a second. Any discussion? Yes. Okay, Trustee Belcher?
Just for discussion, I know that you just stated there are two companies right now that are doing the tow. I know in 2021, when we first got in, we approved one. Speaking to that company, they stated, and I'm waiting on a copy of the contract, that their contract is to 2026. So moving forward, even with a vote on this new one, will they still be towing for the village because we have a current contract?
So this proposal would be for them to be the second company while we review their contract. I will say the reason for this RFP going out are numerous complaints that we're receiving on various pricing being done for individuals being told. People being told for one day at 500, 700, and fluctuating rates. My concern being that they are violating their contract, is not benefiting the residents of Dolton, and we wanted to make sure that, we want to make sure that we have consistency in the towing fee, and we have a company that's willing to work with the administration as well, and most importantly with the residents. I did highlight or note in the bid that was given, it was a fee for the first day of $225, $25 going back to the residents of the village of Dolton for each tow that's gone in there, and they've promised to be good community partners. Additionally, they have a tow contract with the city of Chicago, so they are a very large and reputable company. But to answer your question, because I did kind of ramble a lot of things off there, but I just felt triggered, something came through me. The reason was because of contract disagreements. At this moment, it will be two companies, but as we review their contract, it may go down to one.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that on record, because we don't want any pending litigation until we find out exactly what's going on, that they will remain in rotation until we move further. That's all, thank you.
So noted. Any additional comments?
And I'm sorry, that's just for the tow company that we approved in 2021, because although we found out that there's two tow companies, we only approved one.
Correct. Okay. Any additional comments? Hearing none, I'll ask Clerk Key for a roll call, please.
Trustee Norwood? Aye. Trustee Tammy Brown?
Aye.
Trustee House? Aye. Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, I'm going to switch the order around quickly I'm going to take D before C. Item D is an ordinance. I want to make sure I get the terminology. I got it. Do we have a number on there already? 24-008, an ordinance amending the village code to add the requirement of 2 signatures on check to allow the mayor pro tem the authority to sign documents. This motion is put in place. The current ordinance has 2 signers on our bank account, the mayor and the clerk, which is the rightful way. We have challenged that before, and had other court proceedings. This ordinance would allow for, if the mayor refuses to do her fiduciary duty to sign checks that the board have approved, it makes sure that the Mayor Pro Tem can sign in her absence. Again, only in the absence or refusal, because we are recognizing that many cases are refusal to sign, which are delaying many projects similar to this park district and other items. So we've been able to utilize this mechanism to make sure village business continues and goes forward in the proper manner. So and this is a procedural thing that we need, as we have been in communication with the bank, because at this moment, we only have, the clerk is the only person that will be authorized, which is if the mayor refuses to sign. So this gives us the mechanism needed for the bank to authorize these signatures as well. So that's the reason for this. I motion that ordinance 24-008 be approved, and I'll ask for a second. Hearing a motion and second, any discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Key, roll call, please.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown?
Aye.
Trustee House?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher? Motion passed.
Okay, and then we're going to cycle back to item C, which is the presentation and preliminary findings from former Mayor Lightfoot. I have a couple of comments. I didn't know if any board members had comments too before I segue to Mayor Lightfoot. I'm going to do both. So this process started and the request started because for, I would say at least up to a year, our administration, and more importantly, the residents have not had the opportunity to know what's going on financially with the records in our town. We've also looked at the investigation into what happened in Vegas, and we were not able to get answers. While we are aware that there are FBI subpoenas and a probable FBI investigation, we feel and felt the need for some answers that the community deserves, that this board deserves, and that in order for us to be on solid footing to make a plan. From pieces that I've seen, it mirrors exactly what we knew, is that we are in a dire financial position. That is something that I think as the numbers come can be extremely frustrating to the recognizing where we are and using this as a jumping point to where we can get all of the hours and all of the hard work. Not too many hours, we put a cap on it. But I want to say thank you. Still are some stages to go. I'm sure Mayor Lightfoot will talk about some of the hurdles and obstacles, and as a board, after board will be present to answer what our next steps are. But without further ado, I want to turn over to Mayor Lightfoot.
Can you all hear me just fine, and particularly the folks in